All right, peace, y'all. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. It is late. It's a late one for me, right? But I am a man of my word, so I gotta stay true to this. I wanted to tap out. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted to tap out tonight. I did not. Hold on. Let me just kill this noise. All right. I did not. Let's get back together. Did not want to go through with this live. When I tell you, it's been one of those days. Really busy today. But it is what it is. Got a lot done today. I'm still working. It is 8 o'clock. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. After this live, I'm gonna go and eat. But I have to stay true to my word. I'm on day 17 of my 30-day consecutive live. And this is what I'm talking about: staying disciplined, sticking to the script. If you say you're going to do something, do it. So this means a lot to me because I'm pushing myself to stay disciplined, stay the course. If I said I was going to do it, I'm going to complete it. This is day 17. I don't even have a general topic today because I just literally finished, got off a call. I'm editing a video while I'm doing a Zoom call with a whole nother company at the same time. It's just been a busy day, but it is what it is. Um, Let me bring you up to speed. So I talk a lot. We do two things in our community. For those that don't know, we do two things, right? We do something that's called tax deed investing, and we do something that's called direct to owner. Let's that's the topic tonight. That's what you're getting tonight. You're gonna get those two topics. Although we covered tax deed, today I actually went out and bought some tax deeds. Me and Jay, my partner, we started off right there in that community as tax deed investors. So I know all about that world, like the back of my hand. I've spent a lot of time in that world. When I started going direct to owner and doing bigger deals and coming across larger acreage, I stopped really dealing with tax deeds, not because there's no money involved, is that it is less money and it's a little time consuming, and to not really lose you, I figured out a way of how to go around the auction. So I don't deal with the auction because I figured out how to go around the auction. That is the main reason why we stopped doing tax deed investing, because why should I when I can do it my way and I'm in total control the other way doing it my way. So that's why I really stopped dealing with them. But however, mama didn't raise a fool. When I run across good numbers and I run across good places to go and make money at, tax deed investing or direct to owner, the end game is to make money, right? So I gave this to my community. We have a 5K club, and we covered all of this. If you have been following these lives, we've been covering all of this. We covered our 5K club. We covered tax deed investing. I believe we covered direct to owner. We'll talk about direct to owner tonight. So for those that's been on this journey with me, you probably can follow along really well. Our 5K club, guess who's at the head of that? Me and my partner. I head that. I'm in charge of the money. So I'm really meticulous about what I get involved with that money because I'm in charge of other people's funds. So it has to be good numbers and good deals for me to really greenlight it. Even if it's my own deal, it has to be good and everything has to check out. But really, when I'm dealing with other people's money, it really has to be like a sure deal, right? So from a tax deed standpoint, it's usually not a lot of money, but I've been screaming on social. I gave it to my community. That's why when you come into the community, it's one of the first places I tell you about, because out of the years of me doing this, outside of the place that I got my start from, which was Arkansas, when we were buying land for $50 and selling it for $3,000 all day long, I haven't really seen a lot of other auctions that I was like, I like the numbers and I like the spreads. Where now we found two other auctions, three really, three other auctions. They all do the same thing. I like the numbers. I like the land. I like what the whole area offers. We'll pause there. I'll tell you about the type of area it is. It's a subdivided or subdivision area. It is an attraction. A lot of people come to vacation there, right? They come to vacation. Homes in them subdivision, they range from 250,000 all the way up to 700,000. Certain parts of the subdivision, it go up to $1 million. They have lakes inside of there. It's gated communities. Everything's inside of this subdivision that you would want. And guess how much we're buying the land for? For what I just explained, we're buying the land for, in one of them for $850 plus taxes. It'll put you somewhere around $1,000. Another one we're buying for $1,250 plus taxes. It'll put you somewhere around $1,400. Two of them are those same prices. Now, that may not be exciting to you, but when you find out what you can sell them for, I just had an investor buy for $1,250 and sold for $15,000. This is why I said, Mama didn't raise a fool. Now, let me go take my 5K club, because it's my job to stir up money. Let me go take some of this money that we're sitting on and let me go do some of this shopping. And I thought about taking one for my personal, for me and my team. I'm not stupid. I know the list. I know how to comb through the list probably better than anybody in my community. I just don't have time to comb through lists, but I made time. I combed through the list and I found 6 deals. I found 6 deals. I don't know. It took me 2 hours to find 6 really good deals. And that's what you have to get good at as a tax deed investor, because that list, a lot of auctions, they don't have, how many properties on that list? 1,500 properties plus are on that list. That's a lot of properties. That's why I'm saying it's enough to go around. I'm not buying 1,500 properties. My community probably ain't buying all 1,500 at one time. And guess what? Once time goes by and next year comes, that's going to not replenish. It's going to come right back around again. Then the list is going to be lengthy all over again. So people, I'm just trying to tell people where to go to get to the bag at. Because I know about it. I'm just trying to tell you it's out there and it's available for you. If this makes sense to you, if these kind of numbers make sense to you, it made sense to me. And I've been saying, you'll see I'm consistent in my language and my speech, because it's not about the one. For me, it doesn't really do me well to say, hey, I bought 1. So we bought 6. And a lot of times they have to tell me, pump your brakes. Well, my partner has to tell me, slow down a little bit. Don't buy it. Let's only buy a conservative amount, because my personality, I'll go and buy 15 at a time. And we have done that before, but we were buying for $50. So it's not a whole lot of money if I'm buying 20, 25 deeds at $50 a piece. But sometimes we say, all right, we're paying $1,500. Let's just do 6. Let's knock off those 6, then go back and get another 6 if all goes well. It's going to sell. Only thing I question about this area is how fast or how long is it going to take for the properties to sell? That's it. It's definitely going to sell, because the properties that, where are my properties at? Let me show y'all this shit. So y'all don't think I'm lying about what I be saying. Like, these are the checks today. Let me show you. Let me show you the checks from today. I don't know. I did a post about it, and you'll see. What does that say? $697. That's how much I paid for one. And I think the most I paid was, I think, $1,100 for another one. How much is that? $1,037 or something like that. I didn't pay more than $1,500 for any of them. This one's $761, and another one for like $1,027. One was $1,037, another was, and then you had to pay small fees, the transfer fees, because they charge you to transfer the deed over, like junk fees that they throw in there, but they're no more than $200. I think the highest transfer fee that we paid for them was, what is this? I don't know. I think $200 or $174, something like that. No more than $200 for the transfer fees. So we didn't pay more than $1,500 for any of those pieces. And you're not inside of my community, but if you was inside of my community, you would have saw last night that we went over these properties, because I needed to know. I was training with them and I wanted them to see this, and I needed to know how much I'll be able to sell these properties at. Every property that I picked up I'm listing it for $10,000 minimum. I'm not selling any of them for less than $10,000. Some of them I'm gonna list at $13,000 coming out the gate. But none of them, from what we researched and did our homework on, is going to be listed for less than 10,000. Why? Because that's what the area is doing. And this is what I've been saying. You're going to pay 1,200, less than 1,500. We haven't seen anything over there sell less than 4,000. And I find some of the best of them. And I've seen it go as high as 25,000. Just depends on where you're at. So this is a very attractive one. I don't know how long this is going to be around. Hopefully it's long enough for you to make a decision and come and get it. I'm not trying to persuade you because it's not my auction. I don't make this stuff up. It's just there. You just don't know that it's there. If you knew, you probably would be participating. And I don't even care if you come in my community and participate. If you knew, go do it on your own. It's plenty to go around. It won't affect me. I have a lot of confidence in what I do, and I promise you that I have a different eye than you would have when it comes to land investing, unless you have the experience that I have. And if you're new, you definitely don't. So we can comb through the same list, and I promise you I'll get through the list faster than you, and I promise you I'll pick better properties than you. But I'm not here to brag. I'm here to just say, get the education, because I too had a day one. And somebody had to help me out. So I'm thankful for that, but that came through mentorship. I had to pay for that. That's how I got good, through mentorship, by somebody holding my hand, because I picked bad properties in the beginning too. And if you do anything enough, consistently enough, eventually you'll get good. That's just how it works. Consistency, discipline. Consistency, discipline. Consistency, discipline. Before you know it, you'll be living it as a new person if you do that long enough. But a lot of us, we quit. What's long enough? I don't know till it's fixed. Long enough for you could be a year. Long enough for somebody else could be 2 years. Some of you, it may take 3 years. Some of you, it may take 3 months. People ask all the time, well, how fast would I make money? I don't know how fast you're going to make money. I don't know how fast you learn. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how you study. And I don't know how fast you pick up on things. The information is the information. If you pick up on the information quick, you'll probably make money faster than others that pick up on it, and it takes longer to pick up on. That's my answer. My job is to give the information, to make sure the information is exact. That's it. The information will make you the money. Not Ray, not Jay. The information we provide will get you the money. And showing up. Oh, topic, money. I like to talk about money. Why we don't talk about money on a daily basis? Why is this not a conversation on a daily basis? Why we're not talking about how we getting some money on a daily basis? If you're saying it's not all about money, you go to work every day, you spend it every day. So tell me a time it's not about it. I'm not that guy. Now, if you want to make a lot of money, help a lot of people. First, secure yourself. Like when you're in the airplane, secure yourself so you can help other people. And that's why we are money motivated, because we recognize we're in a space now that we can help a lot of people. In order for me to help a lot of people, I need to secure myself. Then we can help comfortably. All right, questions. Y'all got questions? Drop questions. Anything you want me to cover? Oh, I did say that I would talk about I'm gonna say hoodie season. Yeah, crazy. Hoodie season, shoestring laces. I hear you. I did say I was going to talk about direct to owner. So, what is direct to owner? Direct to owner is when we go direct to land sellers, right? We have the capability of pulling up landowners throughout the country, any given county. We have that at our disposal, right at our fingertips on our laptops. We can pull up a county, we can figure out who's the landowners, and we can figure out what they own, right? That's why this is so attractive to me, because if I just want 2 acres in Pike County, Michigan, I can just go after all the landowners that own just 2 acres, right? So if you ever wonder how I come across, I got a guy, I got my team on the call. Peace, fellas. So if you ever wonder how we come across 30 acres, 40 acres, it's designed that way. We set it up that way. I went after 30 or 40 acres. So usually when I'm putting a campaign together, I put a campaign together. We like starting off from anywhere from 3 to 10. That will be one campaign. And then we'll see how we done with that campaign. Then we'll bump it up. We'll go back in. We'll go 3 to 40 acres. We'll start low, then we'll go large. That's what the Acre Boys do. You can do what you want to do. You set up your own strategy, or you could use that strategy. It doesn't make me a never mind. But that's what we do, and that's how we come across large acreage. Now, while we're in the game and we're handling the business and doing the business, do other things come across the table by just contacting the landowner? Sure. How does that work out? Landowner calls, hey, I received your offer. You want to buy my 3-acre property, right? I have sense enough to know and experience enough to say, once he wants to do a deal, hey, excuse me, sir or madam, do you own any other land? Sure, I own other land. I own 10 acres here and I own 12 acres there. Are you interested in selling that land as well? Maybe I am. Well, I'll be interested in taking a look at it. And this is how it goes. And this is how we buy land. For instance, on my training call, I think I'll post that call. I have to chop it up though. I sent the guy an offer to buy 20 acres. The guy has how many acres is it? 100 and I think like 130 acres, something like that. He has 130 acres. So when you're dealing with large acreage, when you're dealing with owners of large acreage, right? 100 acres or better, these people usually know what they have. They usually are pretty savvy investors or owners, let's call them, because I'm not sure if he's an investor or what he is. But they're usually savvy and usually knowledgeable about what they have when they own that size land. So as new people, that might be out of your range first. You need to get experience because you probably would fumble the ball when it comes to having a conversation with them. You have to know what you're talking about, the savvier the person that you're dealing with. So I give the guy a phone call. I wanted to buy the 20 acres. The 20 acres that we sent an offer for, because we don't look at land that we send offers for. We reverse this, right? It's done in reverse. Once they give a call, then we look at the land. All right. So he gave a call. We looked at the land. 20 acres sat in back of 100 acres. Now, just imagine trying to cut through 100 acres to get through 20 acres. That's a long drive, definitely a long walk. It's not that attractive. In certain areas, it is, however, just depends on the use of the property. But this wasn't attractive. The guy suggested to me, hey, how about I sell you 20 acres off of the road frontage? Ding, 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 ding. That's what I was wanting to hear. I didn't even have to suggest it. And my point is just being active, just being in the game. Sometimes these things just fall right into your lap by just being active. Yes, I want 20 acres that got road frontage. How do we break off 20 acres from 100 acres? How do you do that? You have to subdivide it. So that's where we're at in this phase of that deal. We have to first, and thing that you want to do is get the deal under contract. Never start subdividing and paying for surveys and things like that if you're not in contract. All right. Because you would have to pay for that out of pocket. So first thing that we're going to do is send him a new purchase agreement or offer to buy. He'll sign. Once we lock in the deal, then we'll send it over to a title company. Let title start working on the process. And in between that time, then we'll hire a surveyor. A surveyor will come out and he will tell us what the boundaries are, the meets and boundaries of the property is. He would put a plan together in a diagram where we'll subdivide it at. And then that subdivided 20 acre will then have a new parcel number assigned to it. That will be sent from the surveyor. He'll give it to me, or duly we'll send it to the county, and the county will then make that a new parcel. 20-acre parcel. Make sense? Did y'all follow? And that's it in a nutshell. Then we'll have 20 acres, another 20 acres that we'll put on the market. Then you're thinking, right? Why y'all think people sell land for so cheap? Why do you think they sell it to us for 25 to 30% on the dollar? Why do you think that? Good land. Why do you think they sell it for that price? Several reasons. One, they're not using it. Two, they don't have anybody to leave it to. Like, this is like the new millennials, they don't want the land. You can't even give them the land. We did a deal for $3.4 million for 260 acres, right? The owner of the land, he couldn't pass it down to his children because they didn't want it. They said it was too much to maintain. So he decided to sell it. Along came an offer from us for $3.4 million, and he said, I'll sell it. So if you don't have an offer, you probably don't have a business. If you don't have an offer, you probably don't stand a chance at making a whole lot of money. So you got to have an offer out. So we have a lot of offers out in the world, except our business is land buying. So we have a lot of offers requesting to buy land that people are not utilizing in rural vacant markets. I'm giving it all to you on a platter, in a nutshell. Go do it yourself if you know how. We give you all the game. I just got a text. Somebody said they need land in a climate that's nice all 4 seasons. What's a climate that's nice all 4 seasons? Florida. We get a lot of people contact us and they look for Florida coming out the gate. And Florida's nice, right? It's one of the most desirable places for people to invest in land because it is nice all 4 seasons. But I will tell you one thing about Florida. It's highly competitive in Florida, and you're going to pay a little bit more in the nicer parts of Florida, even on the outskirts, even in the rural markets, because a lot of people go after it because of the weather, because of the climate. I had a lady, she bought land in Florida in a paper subdivision. I said this before, and I didn't explain what a paper subdivision. What's a paper subdivision? Anybody know what that is? Let's explain what's a paper subdivision. So she bought land 20 years ago in a paper subdivision. A paper subdivision is when, let's just say you got a 40-acre plot. You hire, I mentioned a surveyor, you hire a surveyor to plot it out on paper of what this land would look like. If they broke it down, I'll make this simple. Let's say they broke it down into 1-acre lots. That means that you'll have 40 lots if it's a 40-acre, and they broke it down on paper to 1-acre lots. So she bought in a paper subdivision, meaning when we say paper, that means that nothing is developed over there, right? They haven't cracked ground. It's just wooded, but it is on paper, it's subdivided where it has GPS coordinates and how you'll be able to find the land. Hope you're following that. She bought a lot and they sold it at the time because nothing was in the subdivision. They sold it to her for $100, right? They sold it for $100, and she sat on it because paper subdivision land, typically taxes are cheap anyway. I think she paid like $20 for the year for the land, and she just sat on it, which was smart. And to fast forward the story, 20 years later, she didn't know that the area had started being developed, and it's a lot of houses in the area now. That $100 lot had appreciated all the way to $80,000. $80,000. And I had her granddaughter on a call. Now she's a little older, and she asked her granddaughter to ask him if he can tell me how much this land is worth that I bought 20 years ago. So she was super excited that she had no clue that her $100 had appreciated to $80,000 off of that lot. So this is what we be saying. It's like, get in front of it while you have the rural markets, right? Rural markets. Get in front of it. You have to have the foresight to see what's happening next. How do we have foresight? We don't just go in our head and imagine things. We use data. Things like U-Haul data. What does that mean? U-Haul data. U-Haul data will give us an idea of where people are moving to and at what pace they're moving. If people are moving, what does that mean to you? What does that say? If people are moving, it means that, and if you see the population going up, we study things like census. Population going down, people moving out. Population going up, people moving in. These are some of the places that you want to get in front of. I always use the example because right now it's a hotbed. Arizona, it was just desert land 20, 25 years ago. Now worth millions. Don't believe me? Go do a Google search. Go look on Zillow. I'll give you the county, Maricopa County. Then do a Google search and see if you could find numbers on it from 20 years ago and see what it was selling at and see what it's selling for now. It's just desert land. Doesn't look like much. Selling for millions right now. So if we took that same philosophy, which I'm suggesting you do, start to look at rural markets, because most of us, we won't have money to play in urban areas like Atlanta, the mecca of where we at. You don't have money to play in the middle of Atlanta. And how do I know? Because I study the area. I look at who's the owners in Fulton County. People don't even own the land in Fulton County. It's all corporations. They bought it all. So corporations they have done what I'm telling you people to do. Get in front of it. And when they bought it, some of them they bought 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because they study this kind of stuff and they see where the market is trending to. So they bought it while it was cheap, and now they'll sell it to you while it's high. But we'd be late. We'd be late to the party. Still hitting the snooze button. Can't get up. In a stupor. Watching basketball wives. What just happened? I don't know. They bought the whole Atlanta up right underneath our nose. What a pity. And when I tell you they bought it all, they bought it all. I think it is maybe like 3% are just regular people that own it. Maybe just 3%. Corporations bought it all. And it's going to happen again. So if they bought it all, right? What do you think is going to happen next? They're going to move to the next county over if they haven't already. And what do you think is going to happen off after that? Do you think they're going to stop doing it in Georgia? Oh, we bought Atlanta. Let's go somewhere else. That's not how it works. They're going to bounce over to the next county. How do I know that? Because they started doing it already. So we have to go to where it's available. That is the smartest thing. If you just hit the reset button right now, right? And I understand that it's a hard thing to do. We've been living this way. And this is why they keep you distracted, right? This is what social media is for and everything else, TV, radio, and everything else. Stay distracted so you don't even pay attention to what be going on. But if you stop being distracted, hit the reset button, you have to go where it's available at before it's not available. Because once they got it, they're going to hit you with max dollar for it. And I'm going to do the same thing. Who's screaming out here now? Go look into rural markets. It's not the sexy thing. That's is why we came up with the name Acre Boys and wearing hats and talking about land and all of that. So maybe this coming from somebody that I think we look culturally somewhat cool. So maybe it'll start resonating if you hear it from somebody that looks somewhat culturally cool. Maybe. I think it's penetrating. I think it's getting out there. They definitely ain't gonna tell you how to play the game. And so maybe if we done that, you have to, we can go and say, all right, we have the opportunity to get it for reasonable prices. All right. I probably said a lot. I wanted to be on here no longer than 20 minutes. Not that I don't enjoy talking to you. It's just that it's late. I had a hell of a day, had a long day. Anybody, if any of this resonated with you, we're in the season. We're money motivated this season. I hope that this is rubbing off of you. I hope you're money motivated as well. Text 1-877-250-7778 if this made sense to you, right? If you can see yourself partaking in this space, text that number only if you're ready to get started. If you're just texting to have a conversation, you will get screened by my team. They will ask you a bunch of questions. You won't get through. If you do get through, you'll have a personal conversation with either myself or either my partner just to get you started. All right. Been a great one. Day 17, we'll come back tomorrow. Day 18, we're going to get through all 30. Day 18, you can drop the topics you want me to cover. I didn't have one. We just had a conversation today, but it was all good. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna do dinner now, and it's late for me to be doing dinner, but I have to eat. So peace, love.